Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Subservicing Scene. Today, we will be focusing on the VA loss mitigation changes that released on June 1st. I'm Mignonne Davis, and I'm joined by Jen Hughes. Together, we run subservicing oversight here at Richey. All right, let's dig in. The VA Home Loan Program Reform Act was signed into law July 30th, 2025, and this created a partial claim program to replace the VASP program. It requires the VA to prescribe a mandatory sequence of loss mitigation options for loan servicers, which we call the new VA Loss Mitigation Waterfall. This new legislation allows the VA to purchase a portion of indebtedness that is in default or is in imminent default. This is specifically for VA loans where the collateral is the veteran's primary residence. The partial claim amount is limited to 25 to 30% of the unpaid principal balance of the loan, depending on the delinquency time frame. Servicers will advance the reinstatement amount to bring the loan current before the servicer gets reimbursed by the VA. Jen, can you give us a rundown of some of the key differences from the former partial claim program?
Sure. There are 5 key differences from the former partial claim program, which are: the first key difference is servicers create a non-interest-bearing recoverable balance that will be satisfied with the VA guaranteed loan. This is not a lien. The second VA partial claim remains tied to the VA guaranteed home loan. The third are that no collateral documents are required. No documents need to be recorded. The fourth is that a trial payment period is required. An attestation document is required to be executed and sent to the servicer before the due date of the third and final TPP payment. VA partial claim total balance must be paid off when the loan matures, terminates, or pays off, whichever comes first. Additionally, the borrower can pay off the outstanding VA partial claim at any time before the full balance becomes due without penalty. Mignonne, do you want to tell us about the future implications?
Absolutely. Some future implications to consider are that the interest rate reduction, refinancing, or other future loss mitigation options may be affected. The partial claim balance will be included in the refinance or a loss mitigation option. Also, the VA can collect the debts the same as with other federal debts. The VA partial claim must be paid off in order for the veteran's entitlement to be restored. So let's discuss the new waterfall. Jen, can you give us some examples of when servicers are going to be required to follow the new waterfall?
Yes, servicers must follow the VA loss mitigation waterfall when the borrower indicates they are ready and able to resume monthly payments and wishes to retain their home. If the borrower wishes to retain their home and they are not ready to resume monthly payments, the servicer may utilize temporary and informal plans outside of the waterfall until the borrower is ready to resume monthly payments. The servicer must use the prescribed order and ask the borrower a series of questions to determine which loss mitigation option to offer. The loss mitigation option must be in the best interest of the borrower and the VA. Disaster modifications are not part of the waterfall and can be offered at any time if the borrower is affected by a presidentially declared major disaster, and incentive payments are available for all loss mitigation options, including VA partial claim. Mignonne, do you want to tell us about the new waterfall features?
Absolutely. The features include TPPs are required for all modification types within the waterfall and the VA partial claim. For traditional modifications and 30-year modifications, the principal and interest must remain the same or lower. If the borrower has failed 3 TPPs in a single default, any options requiring a TPP are no longer available. Financial documentation is only required if the borrower had 3 failed TPPs in a single default and would be required to re-enter into the waterfall. The only options in this instance is a special forbearance or a repayment plan. Also, time frame constraints to consider. No new modification within 24 months of a prior modification. Loss mit reviews at 25 to 36 months require pre-approval by the VA. No modification if the borrower completed a VA partial claim within the past 24 months, and no VA partial claim if the borrower completed a modification within the past 24 months. Also, only one partial claim is allowed per guaranteed loan. If you're looking for more information, the VA put on several training webinars this month, which can be found on their website. The first session was an overview of the VA Home Loan Program Reform Act and VA partial claim process. The second session was to explain the new VA Loss Mitigation Waterfall, and the third session discussed the VA partial claim qualifying criteria, terms, servicer advance, and events. A fourth session will be coming, which will be held in the future to discuss the VA partial claim payment process and post audits. Jen, what are some of the key dates that servicers need to have in mind?
Sure. The key dates to remember are June 1st of this year, the VA finalized program details and released the policy. June 15th of this year, they updated Valerie Events bulk upload template. It was made available for submissions. And by November 28th, later this year, servicers will be required to implement both the partial claim and the VA loss mitigation waterfall.
All right. Thanks, Jen. And thank you, everyone, for your time today. We hope you found this information beneficial. If you have any questions or would like to discuss how Richey May can help you, please contact us. And next time, we'll dive into another one of our subservicer hot topics. Stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next time.